Okay, we
Oh
should be
boy.
live. Hello.
Hello.
So yeah, um, I was trying to set up this camera, and it was always looking. It was always looking down. You know, when you put a camera in front of the computer to look down at
Mm,
it, and so my issue is that I want to feel like I'm looking at people. Because like
yeah.
when I had it down there, I was always doing this number,
Yep.
or rather, it was like it was looking. It just didn't look right. And so I saw this,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, it's $5. I'll give it a try, and it seems to work pretty well.
Yeah. It's definitely a good angle. So.
hmm The only issue so far is the glasses.
yeah.
I don't know how to stop that because they need the monitor on.
Yep. And you need your glasses.
Otherwise, I'll be doing this for the whole thing
yep.
because that's how I'm trying to read the stuff here. But yeah, I just
well,
figured.
well, people will just
Ooh,
have to forgive you for it.
well, this is I'm doing this because I would hang out with Purple at 1 a.m. on Thursdays, and with him gone, I've got nothing better to do anyway. So, well, I can play my video games.
I have the night off, so.
hmm Yeah, and I was gonna. Jen was gonna join us. Um, I don't know if she's going to because I said I was gonna try and figure out Zoom, but I ended up spending most of the day out because I go to bed about 5 a.m. I wake up at 8 in the morning and I see my phone and I'm expecting Amazon deliveries before 9:30. So instead of going back to sleep, I stayed up and they finally arrived. And then I took a 4 hour nap and got up at 2 in the afternoon. And then my boyfriend and I went out. Um, oop, dock dropped. Too close. Too close. I'm just gonna play with the buttons.
I'm
Welcome back.
back. Ah. I picked up my phone, so of course StreamYard goes, "Oh, you wanted to leave the chat?"
Yeah, StreamYards is a little funky sometimes. Oh, that's too high. Ooh.
It's got like 9 different ways of like leaving the conversation.
And you can't see the chat in the mobile version either, right?
I there is the live comments
Mm-hmm.
side. I can look at it, but I have to do this on my smartphone, so I can't have YouTube on it at the same time.
Right.
Otherwise, it just drains it down.
Oh yeah.
So I can't like chat at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But what I also do is I have my Xbox, so I have YouTube running on that, so I'm watching the YouTube version on my TV on mute
Mm-hmm.
while I do this.
Gotcha.
so I so I actually can watch the side chat, and I have it on the TV as well. It's just the way it presents. It just streams up for a little bit and then disappears.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to go to the chat on here to like scroll back and stuff.
So you're an Xbox guy, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I work in retail and I used to work in the electronics department and people would come up and they would ask me about the mothers mostly. And they would ask about the game systems and I would be like, "Well, this is how I would explain it to them." I would say, "Okay, so you've got the Nintendo, you've got the Xbox, and you've got the PS4, right? The Nintendo, the Switch, the Wii, whatever it was at the time, is for kids. So when you talk about the Xbox, I imagine an Xbox player being a college-aged frat boy who's drinking beer and teabagging his opponents. And if they asked me what teabagging was, I said, "You're gonna have to Google that. I can't explain that to you while I'm at work." And then I would say the PlayStation 4, I look at as a system that's for adults who just wanna play games. But that was
Interesting.
yeah, well, I'm a PlayStation 4 user, or a PlayStation player. So maybe that's my bias coming through a little bit.
Well, I'm 45 and I've been out of college a good 25 years almost, so
Well, what kind of games do you play?
um I'm big into the role-playing games.
Hmm.
Long the more story-driven the better, but I like leveling up and developing characters. So I'm mostly into role-playing style games. Um uh I can do um, the occasional action game. Like,
Hmm.
I like Star Wars games
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Um, I'm really weird. I really hate first person
First person
like
shooters.
well, if you're locked into the first person view, I actually prefer to have third person most of the time, but be
Hmm.
able to use first person if I have to. Um, and for me, that's mainly because of peripheral vision. In first person view, you really don't have your peripheral vision.
Right.
And I'm a very peripheral vision person
Well,
in
pretty much
real
have the
life.
same. They have similar tastes in games. I'm not a big fan of first person shooters unless um, it's a specific kind, like, and you don't really see them anymore. Like, for example, um, not Fallout. Well, yeah, Fallout.
Yeah, you can go first person, yeah.
First person to shoot people. I'll play in a first person view there and do like the sniping stuff, or like if I'm
Hmm.
playing what's that? Wow, I spent hours in Fallout. Not Fallout. Same game company. Um,
Um, Elder Scrolls.
there we go. Skyrim.
Yep.
Every time I play a Skyrim or a fantasy based game, if I can be an archer type character, I'm going to be an archer type character. Especially with um Skyrim, given how easy it is to kind of cheat as an archer in that game.
Hmm.
Have you played Skyrim?
Oh yeah, when I got Skyrim, I played it almost exclusively for the better part of 2 years.
Oh yeah.
I
Um.
I had 20 characters, male and female, of all 10 races.
Oh wow. See,
I
I
like
have.
making characters.
Oh yeah, I'm an alcoholic on in MMOs.
Yep.
The current one that I'm playing is called Black Desert, and I have fudge. 16 different characters,
Mm.
and but no, back to Skyrim. Um, what I would do is when you're in that first town, what's it called? Riverwood? I think it's
Yeah, I
Riverwood.
think so. Yeah,
You have
River
that
something.
you have that love triangle going on between Camilla, the bard, and the elf.
Yeah.
If you side with the elf, he becomes a follower, but he's also an
Hmm.
archery trainer.
Hmm.
And you know that when you have a trainer as a follower, you can train and then take your money back and train again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I remember that trick.
So you go up to and since I was a thief based kind of character, what I would do is I would choose him. I would have him train up my archery as high as he could. Then I would go and find somebody to train my stealth, and then I would go up to Bleak Falls Barrow and just one shot everything with the arrows. You
Cool.
know, so I started playing again a couple months, not months, months back, a while back. I can't remember exactly. And I decided to play a murder hobo character.
Hmm.
So I made a um, what's the high elf? What's the elf race called?
Aldmer
Yeah, Altmer. I made
or Altmer? Yeah.
an Altmer mage, and
Okay.
so that it just kills everybody or anybody that, like, not in the towns because they might be useful, But, like, if I'm walking from Whiterun to Dawnstar or something, because I don't like to really fast travel too much in that game, and I come across some random encounter, if they're disrespectful, I kill them.
Cool.
So, you cross a random noble coming through on a horse, and they say something snotty, and I'm just like, "Fireball, you're dead."
I had a a power leveling cheat I actually came up with for several skills.
Mhm,
Um, and I never tried it on the legendary version,
mhm.
but with the oh, what do you call it? The add-ons, the downloadables or
Oh,
whatever.
the DLC, like Dawnstar and stuff?
DLC, that was the term I was searching for. um, like if you get the um what do they call the one with the original Dragonborn, and you go to uh the Morrowind, not Morrowind itself, but that
The
island,
Solstheim?
Solstheim.
Solstheim?
Yeah.
I can't
um
remember what it's called, but yeah, I know that one.
yeah, you when you do some stuff there, you can get that ability that allows you to cast a spell for 60 seconds with no cost, right?
Mhm.
To do magic with at no cost. Well,
Okay.
did you know that if you have a continuous spell like the original flame or ice
Mhm.
ability or telekinesis, if you use that and keep it going, you can keep it going forever. Even after the timer runs out, you can keep it going at no cost. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
really? So
Yeah, you
once you start it, as long as you don't stop, it just keeps going.
yeah. Um,
Okay.
so I found a cave with some frost trolls.
Mhm.
And I forget which specific cave it is, but there's a sort of ledge you can kind of hop up on where the trolls will continue to attack you, and you can get real close to them, but you can be like a step away for where they can't actually hit you, but they're going to
Right.
stand right there and keep going at you. So I'll take one hand and I put actually frost on it to train destruction, and
Mhm.
the continuous healing of another character, whatever that one's called, on the other hand.
Mhm.
So I was simultaneously damaging and healing this thing, and I just pop it on and let it run, and it just sits there and levels you up and levels you up over and over again.
Right.
All you have to do is sit there and hold the buttons on the controller and move it around once in a while, because it will, the controller times out after whatever 10 minutes, and
Mhm.
everything goes gray on you or whatever. So you just kind of have to move the controller a little bit. And I didn't want to hold the buttons, so I took rubber bands and put it on
Mhm.
the controller to hold the buttons down, and I would just set the controller down and sit back and smoke, or do whatever. And you can also do that with telekinesis. You can pick up an object and just sit there and levitate it continuously for as long as you want and just keep leveling.
Yeah, when it
It's really
comes
nice.
yeah, it sounds like a nifty trick.
Hmm.
Um, my thing is, though, I have this bad habit of every time I've gone through and started over again, and I said I'm gonna play something different, um, I've only ever succeeded for a very short amount of time. I always end up reverting back to a sneak archer.
Yup.
Um, and then I just ignore everything, like, they're like, "Go to Whiterun," and I'm like, "Nope, I'm going to Riven." Or is that what the town's name? It's the one with the Thieves Guild?
Um,
Rift,
Riven.
Rift. Riven is its own
Rift.
game,
Yeah,
Rift.
yeah.
I always go straight to Rift and do, um, the quests there because of that, Nightingale armor.
Yeah.
Plus, I like the house that you get because it has an entrance that's external to the city.
Yup.
It's a great, um it's a great one for thieves or for, vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can get into the town without any guards bothering you. If you make the mistake of, letting your vampirism go too far. In
Yep.
fact, let me see if I can pull it up. I had learned how the modding, um, I had learned how to mod, using the um, creation kit that comes with it. And one of the things that I did was I created a mod for that town. Let me see. I'm trying to find my Steam folder. There we go. Not my Steam folder, my Steam thing. You know what I mean. Um, let me see. Where's Skyrim? Where's it hiding? Skyrim, where are you? I can't find it on my list. Oh, there it is. Let's see. There's the workshop. I forget what they call it. They changed it and all these things. And let's see. Let's see if I can show this. Let's see. I gotta move my camera. There we go. So I pulled up the file for the house, right? And I did some little things. Like I don't think you can see that. Oh, there we go. So one of the things I did was you've got the alchemy table down there. I just added a satchel to it because I wanted to be able to store my alchemy stuff right there, right?
Cool.
And then I added, go bigger. There we go. There's that bookcase that's right near the door when you come in. I added another chest there so that I could have a space specifically to store the gems that I was finding.
Cool.
Let's see, what else did I do? Yeah, I did this. I added the chest that's right there and the chest that's up on the shelf so that I could store my weapons and my soul stones near the crafting table. I
Ah,
also, you can see the banner in the background. I modified
cool.
that to use a different banner. This is all like fairly. Oh, here we go. This is the big thing. So that's the bedroom. These flags were generic flags. I changed them to, I think that's the Thieves Guild thing. I added this
Cool.
nocturnal statue so that I could get the blessing of nocturnal at the bed. And then of course there's another chest. Let's see. I think I added a warp point to the map so you could warp directly onto the patio instead of going to the city center.
Cool.
I added this. I'm not sure which god that is right now. I think that's Merida, the one that hates undead.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And then
Meridia.
Meridia, there we go. And then I also added a mod. We created a mod for for um the Thieves Guild, because you would open the grave and then you would go down and you had to go into the cistern and then go into the flagon.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
I added a second portal right there so that you could go down and you could go down through the graveyard into the cistern, or you could take another port and it would take you straight into the flagon instead of having you um have to go through the cistern every single time you were trying to get to the flagon.
Yeah, that's cool.
The only other thing that I wanted to do that I could not figure out was I had wanted to put an NPC in the basement of the house that would sleep in the bed and they would always sleep. Because I don't know, did you ever play um what was Oblivion, the one before it?
Yes. Oh yeah.
There was a player home, or there was something um where there was a person asleep in your basement and they would never wake up no matter what you did.
Was that with the Dark Brotherhood?
I don't know if it was a Dark Brotherhood thing. I think it was a It was a DLC.
Or
Let me
am I
see.
thinking of Skyrim again, where you get like you have like a victim to feed from if you're a vampire in that base? I think that was Skyrim. I think that's Skyrim I'm thinking of.
I think Skyrim might have had one. I can't remember that in the
It
Dark
seems,
Brotherhood house.
yeah, it seems like it was one of the advancements you could pay for, because there was that mission you had to get the money to refurbish the new Dark Brotherhood base, and there was the extra stuff you could buy with the money, or you could not buy the stuff and keep the money.
Right.
And one of the things was like a couple caged people for feeding on if you're a vampire. That's what I'm thinking. So you're probably thinking something different.
Yeah, no, there was a house that I could remember.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, so I see it. If
I
you
know
up
there was some of them with servants there. Like the one in Scheidenhall, I think it was.
I don't know where that is. Yeah, I'm looking at something here and it's saying that
Or
Nazir sent you.
Chadenhall, I think it's pronounced.
Mm. But yeah, you end up adding some tortured victims to the.
Oh, yeah. I think I vaguely recall. I can't remember which one it was.
Let me see. I'm watching a. There we go. Nope, that's not it. I've got too many tabs open right now. Close that. That's not it. There it is. Okay. There we go. That's it. Not. Okay, we're just gonna have to alt tab through everything because I can't find my tab. But one of the things that they add is like a it's a. Can I find my words? Like really?
Just use telepathy.
Oh, there it is.
Humans have tried this verbal language thing for too long, and it's just cumbersome, isn't it?
But yeah, there's you upgrade and you get the garden and all that, and you can find a torture chamber.
I think I am at least vaguely recalling. It's been a while since I've played Skyrim. I've got the legendary version, but I don't think I ever played it. I never got into the mods with it either. I did with Fallout, but not with Skyrim. And now my Xbox is getting kind of decrepit. It probably needs a severe cleaning, but it like no longer plays discs. Everything is digital now. So I can't pop in my legendary edition Skyrim and play it. I'm going to have to purchase it, the digital version, to play it.
Oh, that sucks.
No, I had to do that with Fallout, and I lucked out, and it was like on sale for like $20 or 15 or $20. I was like, damn it, I can't play it. I'm just gonna have to download it. So it was kind of cheap at the time, so I went ahead and did that, but it's like still $60, I think, for Skyrim. So
yeah, one of those things that annoys me is like I've got a bunch of games, excuse me, that I got on disc before they started doing this whole all digital all the time thing. But the problem is they won't let me add it to my digital library. You know, like I have Spore. Did you ever play Spore?
I don't think so.
So I've got Spore on disc, but I can't play it because they won't let me load it up from the disc. I can only do it through the Origin launch system, and it doesn't recognize the key that I have for whatever reason. So like I've got a game I can't play. It was actually a pretty interesting game. Origin doesn't exist anymore. You gotta use Uplay. It was actually a pretty interesting game. It started out where you were controlling a cell, and you had to survive by either
Yeah,
eating plant
I think
matter.
I have heard of it, and
And
it
then
kind
your
of
character,
evolves.
yeah, and then it would evolve up into another layer, and you could add legs and mouths and fangs and all that to it. Um, and then you would go through like the creature stage where you were just an animal and you were controlling the animal and trying to increase your species. And then after that, you went to the civilization stage where your creature was now like a little person, and you'd have little villages, and you had to either make friends with them or um, destroy them. Then it went to the space stage, and you were now an interstellar traveler, and you had to make friends with or destroy your competition. And
it gave you the entire Milky Way and all its billions of stars to explore.
yeah, you got like an entire Milky Way to explore and stuff. It was like 3 different games all
Cool.
built into one. It was like at one point it was like Masters of Orion space exploration, and another one is like Sim City type
Cool.
progression, and it was pretty fun when they had it.
Cool. I never got into SimCity itself, but I did like The Sims. You know, where you have people in a house and
Mhm.
you have to take care of them and stuff.
Oh, The Sims,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I had heard. Yep, but I had heard of Spore before, and yeah, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I have The Sims, I've played The Sims too. Um, I was, like, trying to play around with weird families. One play that I had done, um, I made a two-person family, right? Um, but I made the one character, um, completely in fact, he looked like Shrek. I found a pre-made skin, and he looked like Shrek, basically.
Cool.
Um, and I gave him the artistic skill, I gave him the loner skill, and the loner trait, and I gave him something else, and I can't remember what, but basically what it would allow you to do is lock him in a room, and you didn't have to take care of him much because the only thing you gave him were easels to draw paintings, a refrigerator, and a bathroom and a bed.
Hmm.
And since he was antisocial, so you didn't have to have him interact with other people in order to remain happy, and so you would get up, eat, go to the bathroom, and then paint pictures, and you would just sell the pictures to make money as his skill
Hmm.
progressed. And then you had the other character that you would create, that character you would play the game with, but you didn't have to do the whole finding a job thing because you were
Hmm.
getting income from all the paintings that you were selling.
Interesting.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Back in the day, I think it was probably either the original Sims game or like the second one I ever played. I I found bunches of skins. I had like
Oh.
a whole Star Trek: The Next Generation family. I
Mhm.
had a Data and a Picard and a Worf and a
Mhm.
Locutus and a Deanna Troy.
Yeah,
It was weird.
the new game that I found is one called Niche, and it's, or Niche,
Hmm.
you know, like an evolutionary
Hmm.
niche. And basically what you start out
Yep.
with is you've got these little creatures, um, and you've got their genetic code that you can see, and you have to try and get them to survive, by breeding them and bringing in new genes and taking out old genes through a breeding process. So, for example, you start out, there's a skill called Silky Paw, and that means that your paws are more nimble so that you can more easily crack nuts and pick things up. And then you've got the claw gene, which means the hand is super strong for combat.
Hmm.
And then there's different kinds of mouths and different kinds of tails and different kinds of fur patterns that affect all kinds of different things, depending on where you're living with your animals.
Hmm.
I'm not very good at it. Because they actually have an inbreeding control, so to speak. Instead of just allowing you to breed your animals like any way you want, they have a specific breeding code that is literally nothing more than immunities, is what they call it. So if you get an animal with the same immunities, like an AA or a BB, they become sick and their lifespan is cut in half.
So you can't inbreed your animals with their relatives.
You can, but you have to be very careful that the offspring don't end up with the same immunities.
Okay.
See, like, let's see. Like this is the screen that you get. Let me see if I can make that bigger. Oh yeah, I can make it lots bigger. Right? So this is the gene control, and you can see at the end here, the C and the D, right? So if you get a character that's got CC, it's going to be sickly, and then its projected lifespan is going to go down. And like the problem that I've tended to have is like early in the game, there's not a lot of different genes that you can get. So I always try and breed for horns, for a nutcracker face that makes it easier to crack nuts, and then the nimble paws that lets you pick things up easier. But like I will breed and I will get like 7 offspring that have the exact same genetic code every time. I'm like, I'm at an evolutionary dead end. I have to have a pair that have 2 different genes each time in order to make sure that the next generation continues to be able to process and reproduce. So it's an involved game, and you can't just like, I just thought you could just like breeze through it. I'm just like, no, this is much more detailed than I was expecting.
You got to put on your thinking cap.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like games that make me think too. Sometimes they make me think too much with the puzzles, and I have difficulty. But
yeah, see, like, so I like here you've got the different kinds of ears and the effects that they give you, and then there's different kinds of mouths and head shapes.
Interesting.
And the different head shapes give you different things. Like I generally go for, well, the ears. I usually do medium ears because it's +3 hearing, which means when you're playing, you can smell, or you can hear, or you can see. So you have to change the mode. And so you're better hearing the farther away you can hear things that are near you that you can't see. So let's go for 3 hearing. And then I come down here and I want this jaw cracker head because it makes cracking easier. One of the things you have to do is collect food, and you can either kill foreign nichelings, you can kill monsters, or you can collect berries or knock coconuts out of trees. So having a cracking skill is handy.
Cool.
Then you come down here. That's new. I don't remember that, but that's kind of creepy looking. Then you got horns that help with your strength and stuff. Different horns, and then eye color, which is cosmetic as far as I can tell, and then different fur types that, you know, increase your defense, your heat resistance, your cold resistance, stuff like that.
Cool.
And then you got, like I said, super claws, and then deformed paws that increase digging. I usually go for the nimble fingers because the cracking and the collecting.
Yeah, you probably can't have like battle claws and nimble fingers at the same time, right?
You actually can. You can have one that's you can have one that's got claws, and you can have one arm that's nimble. When you start off, you usually start off with a pair that only have they usually start off with one nimble fingers and one claw. And what I had been trying to do for the longest time was breed out a line that was claws. One family line would have the claws, and one family line would have the nimble fingers. So the clawed ones would go around killing things, while the other ones would stay near the nest and collect food. But like I said, with the whole genetic code thing going on, every time I would get to the point where I've got one set that's got all the right hands and one set that's got the other set of hands, then the genes would go wonky and I couldn't continue because I'd have to crossbreed them, and then it just went from poop. Went to poop, rather.
I was just thinking that would be an interesting trait for humans to have, like, one hand be like pretty much a inarticulate battle claw for the most part, maybe be capable of grasping large objects, but otherwise mostly there for combat. And then we just have the other hand for regular manipulation.
Yeah.
Be interesting. So smartphones would be a hell of a lot different, but
yeah. It would definitely be different.
I wish I could play with human genes like that game.
Diabolical, I swear.
All kinds of monstrosities coming out of my basement.
Well, I'm really depressed about what I had found out because I was Googling something, and I learned, let me see if I can find it, that they had developed glowing cats.
Glowing hats.
Cats.
Oh, glowing cats. Oh, interesting.
They found a gene from a rhesus macaque monkey that produces a protein called a restriction factor that can resist AIDS-causing viruses affecting the animals. So they took this gene and they inserted it into the cats. The problem was they couldn't tell that it had happened because there's no physical signs of it. So what they did was they took the fluorescent protein called GFP and they attached them. So they've got protein producing gene here, glow producing gene here, and they merged them together. And then they inserted them into the they inserted them into embryos, like not really embryos. I wouldn't even say it's an embryo, it's a blidocyst, whatever it is, when it's like just one or two cells.
Right.
And then they let it multiply a couple times, put it under the microscope, click the light, and if the cells glowed, the insertion took.
Cool.
And so what they did was they took those cells and they exposed them to feline AIDS to see how it worked. They showed a resistance to it, and so then apparently they've let those cats grow up, or they let those cells, those blastocysts, continue to develop into cats, and they were going to soon start exposing those cats to feline AIDS to see if that caused them to be resistant to it. But yeah, see, the team has only tested cells taken from the animals and found they were resistant to FIV, but eventually they plan to expose the cats to the virus and see if they are protected. But this news article was from 2011. And I can't find anything else about it.
Right. So nothing to corroborate it.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it's corroborated. I mean, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's on the BBC. But
okay.
I can't find anything to see if this research idea continued and if it was at all
and
successful.
And if I can get one of those glowing cats. Because that would be freaking cool.
Yeah, that would. Well, that's what I said too, and I showed it to a couple people at work at this specific picture, and like that looks demonic. I said this cat's in the dark. It's just the lighting.
Yeah,
But
it
here's a
doesn't.
picture of a. There's a picture of a kitten, right here. I don't think you can really tell because it's really
It's teeny tiny on my phone, but once there's
Woo!
a delay on my TV, but I'll see it on the TV.
I blew it up too.
Ah, cool. Oh,
It looks like
cute.
It looks like It looks like the glow expresses itself more in the white fur.
Yeah.
Because I guess
Well,
yeah, that would make sense because the
kind
color
of blocked by melanin.
Right, from the fur that's got pattern and color would block it with like melanin and whatnot.
Yeah, or whatever they have for pigment. I don't know if it's the same as humans, but
yeah. Yeah, my boyfriend said that they were probably blocked by PETA. No, there is a PETA group on Facebook that I would join. It's PETA, People for the Eating of Tasty Animals.
Yep, that's a joke that's been going around for a while.
I'm just surprised that more people haven't found the group on Facebook.
Yeah, I didn't know they actually had an official group going by that name, but that's like people were wearing T-shirts saying that when I was in high school. So, and that was like the '80s. Well, actually, high school was '89 to '93 for me, but.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can. Yeah, I don't. There we go.
I so need to get a computer.
Yeah, see, I can't. I can't share this without like doxing myself, because actually, do you want to know who owns the public group on Facebook that's named PETA, People for the Eating of Tasty Animals?
Oh, who?
Me.
Oh dear.
I made it in 2013.
Cool.
What?
What you on what?
The Facebook group People for the Eating of Tasty Animals.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah. It was just something I did to see because, like, at that time there was a lot of stuff coming out about the real PETA.
1 minute here.
What do we have watching?
We should really start taking advantage of using that more often. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, that's what I have to click. Where'd you go?
I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my roommate handed me a cherry vanilla Coca-Cola. He said he didn't like it, so.
Yeah, I keep grabbing that instead of cherry Coke. It's not bad. I don't mind it.
I've had the cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper, but I can't remember if I've had the Coke. I think I have. Seems like I have a while ago, so I'm sure I'll like it.
Have you tried the orange vanilla Coke?
No, and I probably won't. I'm not big on orange in general. Mostly, like orange juice, I like, but that's about it.
Right.
I will eat an orange from time to time, but I generally don't enjoy the experience.
Right.
So I don't seek it. But it's not. I don't hate it. So.
I have moods where I'm occasionally like, I want an orange. But like that's about it.
Yeah, like I never experienced that, but it might be like if I have the opportunity and it's right there, I'll be like, I got nothing else to
Mhm.
do. What the hell?
Mhm.
Brandon, you better watch yourself.
Yeah,
Serious damage.
as I've been actually eating vegan, not vegan. Whoa, no, not vegan. Vegetarian, quite a bit. When I'm at work because I'm tired of food. I mean, you wouldn't think that but you know, like there's only so much that you can eat before, and like I'm talking variety. Where it's just
Right.
like, I don't want Subway again. I don't want deli stuff. Blah blah. What do I want? So I found these little snack packs, and it's 3 or 4 pieces of mozzarella cheese, some pretzels, and apple slices. And so I'll get that, and then I'll get some hard boiled eggs because they sell individually packaged hard boiled eggs at Walmart
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll
Yeah.
eat 2 hard boiled eggs, some apple chips, and the cheese and the pretzels, and have a drink, and it's good enough for me.
World is free.
But
Yeah,
that's
that's been
basically vegan because not vegan. I keep saying vegan. That's basically
yeah,
vegetarian because there's no meat.
right. Well, except for the hard-boiled egg, that's actually meat.
I thought that
eggs
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 are,
are in the meat, or eggs are in the meat group, food group, or at least I was always taught. But there are actually something like 67 food groups. The ones we are always taught in school is like the 4 basic food groups. But I've heard there's like actually like 67 specific food groups. But
okay.
I've
Okay,
always been taught eggs fall into the general meat of the basic 4 that they fall under meat. So, well, meat and dairy, I think. Or no, is dairy considered a different one? I can't remember.
well, that's the thing. It's like based on the definition of vegetarian as a diet which excludes the consumption of animal flesh. Technically, yes, eggs are
Yeah,
vegetarian since they are not animal flesh, the meat, muscle, tissue, or tissue of an animal.
right.
According to terminology, you're an ova-vegetarian, which is a vegetarian who eats eggs.
Hmm.
And then, dairy is not, like, strictly speaking, a vegetarian is someone who doesn't eat animal flesh. So,
Right.
eggs, dairy, oh, this is crooked now,
Right, and
are,
some people carry it to that extreme where they don't even eat like anything that comes from an animal.
well, that would be vegan.
Yeah, okay. And I was going to ask actually what really is the difference between vegan and vegetarian? I'm a little
That's
nebulous
it.
on that.
A vegetarian doesn't eat meat, but they'll eat dairy, eggs, cheese, those kinds of products, dairy products,
Hmm,
and eggs, and fish, and seafood, because those
okay.
aren't animals to them. I guess I don't know how that goes. Um,
They're not like meat protein, or
I guess
stuff
I'm
like
not
that.
sure. A vegan is someone who does not eat anything that comes from animals.
Okay.
No eggs, no dairy, cheese, straight vegetables and vegetable based proteins, I guess. And then you have, but see, that's fine. But then you have extreme vegans, in my opinion. I'm not sure if this is a
Mhm.
technical thing, but they won't wear leather, wool, or anything. They won't do. They won't. They claim to not do anything at all that is based off the exploitation of animals.
Right.
So if they find out that, oh, like they won't take, some won't take vaccines because vaccines are incubated in chicken eggs.
Mm. Yeah, that's interesting.
There's a lot
Carrying
of,
it a little too far, I think, but
or they won't, like, I heard the most extreme thing I heard was that someone found out that a specific kind of dye is made using um the crushed shells of a bug.
hmm,
I think it's one of the red dyes. Let me see. What?
hmm.
eye is made of beetles. That was just coming up there. Let's see. It's typically dried insects weight can be extracted from the body in eggs and mixed with aluminum or calcium salts to make carmine dye. Carmine is probably red number 4 is what it is. The dye red number 4 is made using the crushed shells of a beetle. And so people are like, we're not using red number 4 because you got to kill bugs for it. I could be wrong. I'm just saying I'm not the most well versed in veganism.
Yep, neither am I. So. Yeah, I keep, of course, vegetarians and vegans, keep saying that it's healthier, blah blah blah, and then I hear people saying no, it's not so healthy, especially under certain circumstances. So yeah, I don't know, and I mean, I'm definitely not vegetarian, but
if you want to know if it's healthy for you, talk to your doctor, not somebody on Twitter. That's the long and short of it.
There you go.
You
That's
know,
great advice.
if you actually want to go vegan or vegetarian, get an appointment with your general practitioner, a dietitian, whatnot, and talk to them before you do that. Because like there are medical conditions and things that make being a vegan or vegetarian impractical because they have to take a lot of supplements, and some things aren't absorbed as easily as others, as I understand it. I'm no expert.
Yeah, and it depends on the person too. Yeah, some people have
Right.
difficulty absorbing certain things.
Right. So like people like iron, I think is one. And so our bodies more easily absorb iron from with what was I saying? I got distracted.
Yeah, from meat.
Yeah, some people
probably.
have an
Yeah.
easier time absorbing iron from meat than they do from pills. And so if they don't know that and they try and go vegan, they'll suffer from an iron deficiency.
Yep.
And then it just doesn't help that a lot of vegans are very preachy about it.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Some people out there are getting a little extreme about it.
I'm like, you don't want to eat meat? You have ethical reasons why you don't want to eat meat? That's fine. Do you. But don't sit here and try and call me evil and a bad person because I eat what's available to me.
Yeah, and me, tell me if I'm off my rocker here, but
you're off your rocker.
Ethically, I don't think it is any more or less ethical to eat an animal to survive than it is to eat a plant. They're both living things. You have to kill it and eat it for you to survive. And that's the conditions of life on Earth. Life feeds on life.
Well,
and
the whole
I don't think it's, and I understand people consider animals to be more sentient and maybe more aware and things like that. But I mean, ultimately, it's it's the condition on Earth. Life feeds on life, and I don't like it. I've been, I hear about like the lab grown meat and stuff, and I find that fascinating. Any way to live without killing another thing, I think would be wonderful. But I don't think it's moral to just to say, oh, to sit and pick and choose what life, what life is more important, what life I can kill and live on, and leave the others to live. The better goal is to eliminate killing at all. So I'm really fascinated about the food alternatives, and and I would be very interested to see ideas of converting straight energy into some kind of nutrient, being able to basically convert sunlight into food for us would be interesting.
Yeah. I've actually tried like the Beyond Burger.
I haven't tried that yet.
I didn't not like it. I posted about it on Twitter. This was back in the beginning of January. I was at a Carl's Jr., I think. Arby's, Carl's Jr., same place, different coasts. And I decided to give it a try. It looked slightly different from the regular burger. Let me see. That did not work. I actually posted about it, like I said. Let me see. Let me see if I can find. Oops, that is the wrong button. Let's see. There we go. I found it. Let me share. Screen share. Let me make sure I hit the right one, and I gotta push the buttons. Everything comes up under my camera. So that's what it looked like. You can see it actually had a little bit more of a reddish tint to it. That's what it looked like after I'd taken a couple of bites. You can see the meat doesn't look normal to me, but I mean that's not
on the outside. It looks pretty normal.
Like on the inside, though, I don't think it looks there. But and then here, you can see this is a regular burger, and this is the Beyond Burger. I put them next to each other to compare the looks. But you can see, like, this is just a little bit colored differently.
Yeah.
The texture was weird. Not weird. It was a little off, but it didn't taste that bad. When I tried to smell it, like I took a piece of the meat out and tried to smell it on its own. All I could smell was the charbroil, because it's one of these places that does their stuff on open fire. When you eat it at the whole, like with the bun and the cheese and everything that goes with it, it tasted just like a burger. I couldn't tell a taste difference. But when I ate the meat by itself, I didn't taste anything. Like I know, and that's not true. I tasted char, the burnt part.
Yeah.
I could taste that, but like I didn't taste meat, or I didn't taste I didn't taste anything outside of the char, and so like I would have it again, definitely. But it would have to be purchased at a restaurant. Because the only reason to me that it tasted like a burger was it had the ketchup and the mustard, the mayonnaise and the cheese and the bacon and not the bacon. It didn't have bacon. The cheese and the lettuce and the tomatoes and all of that. It had all the fixings of a cheeseburger. So when you ate it, you got that experience because you had everything else to enhance the taste. But like just on its own, like how when I make burgers at home, it's just meat and cheese. There's no extra stuff to it. So I don't think that without all that extra stuff, I think that without all that extra stuff, it probably wouldn't taste the same.
Right. And I almost wonder if there is a sort of mental thing going on with all that too, like almost a psychosomatic effect where you got all the fixins, you got the char taste to the meat, and like your brain might be kind of filling in the meat taste it's missing, maybe a little bit.
That could be true.
And it could be true of some people, in some circumstances.
I feel like
but I think the only place around in my town we have it is at Burger King. So,
well, as you said,
but I don't know about the other restaurants. They might have it.
I'm trying to think. So I went to an Arby's and got it there. I saw a Beyond sign somewhere recently, but I can't remember where. But yeah,
Well,
I mean,
we
it's
have
like,
an Arby's, so ours probably has it too.
I'm sorry, did I say Arby's?
Oh yeah, you said Arby's. Sorry.
I meant Carl's
Oh,
Jr.
roasted.
Hardee's. That's
Hardee's. Yeah, yeah.
Hardee's Carl's
Okay,
Jr. is
yeah.
where I got mine at.
Okay, yeah. We have a Hardee's. And I know Carlos Jr. is, the same company now, but I don't know if there are separate. I think there is like a separate Carlos Jr. restaurant, isn't there?
I don't know.
Or are they just all completely merged now? I don't know.
I think it's Carl's Jr. in some locations and Hardee's in others.
Yeah, and well, plus in my area, I keep finding out how many like named businesses we have. Sort of famous ones: McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, that turn out to be a sort of franchised deal. Like they're often enough they're not owned by the main company, but like a more local owner, but they've got the franchise deal so they can use the name and stuff.
Well,
However that stuff works.
So look at this. Did you see what I'm seeing? Do you see what I'm pointing out?
Not really. It's flipping around a lot.
It's almost the exact same site, but
Oh,
one says Carl's Jr. and the other one says Hardee's.
oh, okay. I see. Yeah. Yeah, and I remember that Hardee's got purchased by Carlos Jr. Way back in the day, back in the 90s, I think.
But yeah, see, look, like when I go to the one page Carl's Jr., it's the feed you're happy, and then Hardee's is the exact same image.
Yeah.
I think that, let me see, like the pictures. The videos are different. I think what it really is that they had all these restaurants named Hardee's, and they had all these restaurants named Carl's Jr. And when they merged, instead of just saying we're going to rename everybody, we're just going to be like, you guys stay Hardee's, we'll stay Carl's Jr., but we're still the same company. We'll still serve the same stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part, I really wish that Hardee's had Carl's Jr.'s tacos. I haven't had those in a long time. Let's see. Ouch. Yeah. Because they've got the Beyond Famous Star. Let's see their menu. Made from scratch biscuits. Made from scratch biscuits. Yeah, this is a weird thing to be focusing on in a stream, but whatever.
Do you mind dirty jokes on your channel?
I don't care. I've got nothing in the way of content on my channel except for that one video.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, back in the day, in my hometown, our euphemism for Hardee's was hard-ons, and this is a totally dated joke, but their slogan back in the day was Hardee's, we're out to win you over. So my joke was hard-ons, we're out to fuck you over.
Carl's Jr. had one that would have fit even better with that, is that Carl's Jr.'s for a time had this slogan, if it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face.
Oh, wow. That's, you almost don't need to make any alterations to that.
And the thing is like, I think that was from a video with, let me see. Well, hold on. Oh, let me reshare this so that I can get sound. Oh, no, I got to do that. Share screen. Share audio. Let's see if you can see this. Or hear this, rather. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the one.
When you eat a big, juicy Carl's Jr. Superstar, remember, things can get a little dirty. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face.
But there was one they used to do. They had a famous supermodel at the time as the model that did these videos. But yeah, if it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face.
Oh boy.
What is this?
Oh, advertising.
What was that? I don't know. The big, juicy Carl's Jr. Superstar. If it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face.
I think that there was one where the guy would like. It was like a couple, right, or something, and they were eating one, and it dripped on his chest, and she licked it off of his chest, and it kind of keeps dripping lower until it gets to the point where it lands in his crotch. You know, that kind of a. Let's see. Oh, let's see.
Gnarly.
There's a set of banned commercials.
I like banned commercials.
It would help if I could spell the word commercial. Oh, here we go.
Oh my God.
Let me see if I could find the band. There was another one that I saw that it was well, let me see if this funny commercial. Oh, ouch.
Ooh.
There's one about oh, here we go. This is the one. It's an advertisement for language services.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Let's see.
Why ever did that get banned? I don't get it on that one.
You didn't hear? Did you hear what they were
No,
singing?
I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm being sarcastic.
나 지금 바빠.
감동적이었어요.
나 막 울었잖아.
I admit I wasn't expecting noodles.
I wasn't either. I thought it was going to be
Like ice
a
cream
popsicle
pop
or something.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, popsicle, yeah.
look at this one. I shared this before. It is such a funny commercial, but it's kind of long.
どうしたの？
トールさんが避けるグミ咲いてる時の顔が好き。
そう？
もっと長く見てたいな。
Long, long, my.
危ないね、あの人。
避ける組対長い避ける組。
見て、背中たる。こっちはゾウさんだ。
ちーちゃんは長いのが好きなんだね。
別に意識してるわけじゃないけど。
気のせいか。
Long, long, my.
前にも言ったね、あの長い人。
避ける組対長い避ける組。
出先で避ける組のマンゴー見つけてさ。本当？バイク便で送ったから。そろそろ吹くと思うよ。
そう、すごいタイミング。
サインお願いします。
Long, long, my.
聞こえてる？
届いたよ。ありがとう。
マンゴー味珍しいからたくさん買ったんだ。今度2人で食べようね。おーい。
避ける組対長い避ける組。
それ触ってみてもいいですか？
It's just
どうぞ。
長い。これ
So-
どうやって咲くんですか？
outlandish.
Yeah.
Long, my.
And it doesn't go where you think it's going to go.
すいません。避ける組対長い避ける組。
はーい。
電話出ないから心配になって。
ちょっと寝込んでて。
これ持ってきたから一緒に食べよう。
今日は。ちょっと待って、今はダメ。
Long, long, my.
And this is him imagining it.
避ける組対長い避ける組。
ちーちゃん、どうして俺じゃなくてこいつなんだよ。
それは。
ああ、そうかい。長けりゃいいのかい。ビロービローちーちゃん。
黙っててごめん。実は私もう長くないの。だから長いものを見ると安心できるの。
避ける組対長い避ける組。
Okay.
したの？
Yeah.
目移りするの、チーの悪い癖だよ。だって長いんだもん。長さに騙されてんじゃねえよ。え？避けるグミ一袋分並べていくと、ほら、同じ長さになるの。食べやすいようにわざわざ切ってあるんだよ。トールさん優しい。
避ける組対長い避ける組。
It's so weird.
ちーちゃん聞いてもいい？
何？
Yeah.
どんな風にされたい？正直に
They have a different sense of humor there.
何が思うかな。なんかこっぱずかしいし、フラッシュモブ以外だよ。
ちーちゃん、僕と結婚。
Long, long, my.
耳
It's
が
on your ears.
避ける組対長い避ける組。
ちーちゃん。
ダメ。結婚式までお預け。
シェー。おやすみ
お。やすみ。
Long, long, my.
どちらまで？
は？
す すいません。やっぱり忘れられない。
避ける組対長い避ける組。
Okay, so this is coming up on the end.
叫んじゃねえぞ、はたぼうよ。
Oh, look at the tails. I didn't notice that.
避ける組対長い避ける組。
私、長い間あなたのこと待ってたの。トールさんごめんなさい。私のことは忘れて。分かったでしょ。私はひどい女なの。
ああ、もうやだ。どうしていつも俺の前に現れるんだよ。
一目見た時から君のことが。
Oh boy. It's a twist.
He's been watching him the whole time. Mm.
トール君、
俺嘘だろ。
高いったのに。どうして？
僕らはきっと分かり合える。
触ってみてもいいですか？
ああ、きっとみんな分かり合える。避ける組長い避ける組。
That
Wow.
one. That one is that's one of my favorite commercials. We show it to people, like when they say weird commercials, I'm like, this.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird one.
Yeah, there's actually an interview with him. The guy that played the long man, where he talks about the role or something and how weird it was to do the commercials. So, oh,
Yeah,
there's people
Purple's
in the chat.
Side chat. Yeah.
I just noticed it.
Yep, I just noticed it too.
216. Hey, Purple.
Hola, hola. That's actually kind of difficult to say.
Hola, hola. No, we weren't ignoring the side chat. We were just watching that stupid commercial.
Yeah.
I've been playing this game called 2 Point Hospital, and I keep getting nurses named Orla. Except they put an H on it. So like Orla. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably a variant of the same name. I've heard Orla say it's a pretty common name where she's from, so.
Oh.
But it's a beautiful name. I love it.
Yes. No, 2 Point Hospital.
Two-Point Hospital. Why did they call it 2 Point Hospital?
Oh, that's the name of the company that the production company is 2 Point Games or something like that.
Okay.
And so they just named it 2 Point Hospital. You can change the name. Did you see the commercial though, Purple? It's one of those things where you just watch it and you're like, what the heck is going on here?
And you got to watch more because you got to know what happens next.
Right. No, if I wanted to get into trouble, I would show you It's called Brosis. It's this animation project where a guy found one of these weird mangas, these weird obscure mangas, and it's what else is, oh yeah, there was a character in Skyrim named Orla. I did not remember that.
I'm trying to remember it. Hmm.
Oh, the head priestess in the Temple of Dibella.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he took an obscure manga, and he didn't animate it. He did the what do they call it when they take like the stills? Animatic. He turned it basically into an animatic,
Okay. Yeah.
and he read the characters' voices. So he's turned it into an animatic, panel by panel, and then he voice acts the characters. And it's a story about a kid who's turning like 21, and he can't wait for his mom to come home with his PSXXX video gaming system, so that he can play the newest Pussy Raider game.
Okay.
And he ends up in this situation where his twin sisters decide to give him a very special birthday present. If you catch my drift.
Hmm.
But one of the things is like whenever somebody says that they like Earl Grey tea, one of the lines is apparently these two sisters, one of them is a little more experienced than the other, if you know what I mean. And so one of them is going to go and give the boy, the inexperienced one is about to go and give the guy a blowjob. And she's commenting about the taste. And the sister says, "It's like that Earl Grey tea that you like so much. It's an acquired taste." And so now whenever somebody mentions Earl Grey tea, I think of that animatic and that line.
You must love Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, I think I found it somewhere. I can't. I'm not gonna play that here. But let me see if I can find the DM, because having a conversation about something that Drew and Objectively Dan had done with
they did an animation.
No. They did this thing where they made Shannon Q watch some weird videos.
Oh.
And I had suggested that they have her watch that, because she was talking about how weird it was. Oh, I might have deleted the DM because they didn't answer the DM, so I just deleted it. You know, they get so busy with stuff on the computers that they can't really pay attention. Yeah, it would take me a while to find it again. But yeah, it was just one of those weird things.
Have you seen any of the new Picard episodes?
No.
I've been enjoying it.
My boyfriend's been watching it. It's just one of those things where like I can't bring myself to watch for some reason.
Are you not a Star Trek fan?
Not really. I mean, not that I'm not.
Cool.
Not
everybody's perfect.
Like, I like it well enough. It's just that it's one of those things where I've grown to the point where like I just can't sit around and watch a movie or a TV show, because I'm so used to creating the story via video games that the idea of just sitting there and watching something is just one of those things where I'm just like, I can't. I just
think I
can't do it
understand.
anymore. You know?
Yeah, I think I understand. That's very interesting. You're more into the interactive story
Hmm.
than just the passively watching the story.
Right.
You're anachronistic. You belong in the Star Trek era where you can go into the holodeck and not just watch TV.
Right. Oop, that was too low. Yeah, it's just this. It's the whole thing of sitting around and not being a part of the story that just I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I think the last time I tried to actually watch TV was around season 2 of The Walking Dead.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to get I was at the point with my job where I was getting Sundays off, which is quite uncommon for me. And so we started watching The Walking Dead, and then suddenly my work decided, nope, you have to work every Sunday now. And so he continued to watch the show. I stopped watching the show, and then because we weren't both watching it at the same time, I just completely lost interest. Oh, I have to show you this. Have you seen this?
Uh-oh.
No, it's adorable.
In the box like this, don't stop, don't stop, bounce with it. Puppy dog, bounce it in the box like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. You a good little puppy, you don't live on the street. You don't want no money, you want something to eat. Got your own water bowl, you don't need my drink. Take a shit and walk off like the shit don't stink. You your own boss, you don't need no leash. All your shots up to date, you ain't got no fleas. Bounce it puppy, like you're trying to get free. Bounce it puppy,
That's an actual dog, isn't it?
you can hang with your girl,
Yeah.
you can chew with a treat. I can leave you in your cage and you won't even pee. You can fetch a ball, but you ain't fetch it for free. You can chill in the house, but you love when we leave. You a good puppy, you ain't sassy. You don't look me in the face, that's nasty. Said you a good puppy, you ain't sassy. And you don't look me in the face, that's nasty. Hey, puppy dog, bounce it in the box like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Puppy dog, bounce it in the box like
I saw that.
That's
just
cute.
Yeah. Trying to see. I had asked my friends if they remembered that video, the one that I was talking about, because back before people did the whole like random meetup things, I had made a group of friends on MySpace.
I remember MySpace.
Yeah, back when it was shitty, back before it became super shitty, and so they had forums. I don't know if you remember that, but MySpace had forums, and so like I would post in the video game forums, and so a group of us who posted in that forum regularly went up north and met up together and hung out. And so I'm still friends with all those people. We actually before Airbnb found a house um found a house for rent, and we split the cost to rent the house and spent a week in Florida together.
Cool.
And so like one of our friends worked at Universal, and so they get perks that they can like save up. And so he used his entire years, he saved up all of his points that he earned at work so that when we showed up, he could use his points to buy line passes and all kinds of stuff to make our trip really, really
Cool.
easy. Yeah, it was really cool. Can you hear my boyfriend's TV in the background?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. He's probably got it turned up because I'm being too loud. But yeah, when I get loud, he turns up his stuff, so I have to be quiet again. Hold on a second. Over me. He's trying to say, I didn't know I was so loud. I'm like, yes, you were just trying to drown me out. Yeah, this is not. I don't know how far back it was that I posted about this. I'm already into October of 2015. No, what? No, 2019. Oh well, I'll find it some other time and I'll share it to you on Twitter. And then you can watch it and not, you know, have me trying to half-ass explain it.
Cool.
Yeah. You know what? Wait, what? I found a person that is impossible for me to annoy. I don't know. I don't think it's good to find somebody that's impossible to annoy. It's just somebody you want who doesn't want to kill you after you annoy them. Yeah, I
I
wish
don't
there was a way
know.
to like search my Facebook profile.
I was gonna say all humans annoy me. Damn talking monkeys.
What?
Oh, that's weird.
That's what I just said.
I just got a notification for Purple's stream.
Saying he's live now. Did he figure out how to do it with his phone? No, that wouldn't be possible, I don't think. Let's
I
see.
don't know. I really don't know if I can check it out. Hey, TV to me.
I'm just gonna click the link and see what happens.
Purple, did you see a notification for your channel just pop up for a show?
He was on like for like 18 seconds.
Huh.
I'm trying to figure out what he said. I don't know. All I could hear was you saying all humans annoy me.
He says not streaming, just activated it on laptop for a couple of seconds to clear the feed that said it was waiting for him. Oh yeah, because
Right.
his
Yeah.
thing automatically went off. So I
Right.
see.
Yeah, that's one of those annoying things about StreamYards. Like if you plan something, you can't delete it unless you like remove it, I guess. I'm like you have to enter it and then come out of it for it to be deletable.
Mm. Do you hear me cracking?
Yeah. A little bit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a cracker.
Fine.
What can I say? But I actually like my joints and stuff will hurt until I give it a good crack. So
yeah, that I don't know what causes that. Oop, did I close that? I closed that out. Let's see.
well, you know what's happening when you crack your knuckles, right?
You're pushing air out of your joints.
Yep, pretty much. It's nitrogen mostly, but yeah, air essentially, and you're basically popping air bubbles. And no, it does not give you arthritis.
Yep.
Or big knuckles. I was told as a kid that's going to make your knuckles real big if you keep cracking your knuckles.
Oh, I am so glad I was no longer sharing screen when I clicked on that video.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I was trying to look that. I'm still kind of trying to look that video up, and I made the mistake of searching for Brosis PSXXX, and it said Brosis video, and I clicked on it, and it was from xvideos.com, which is not a site you want to be sharing.
Nope. Probably not.
It took me so long to try and find that the last time. I don't even know. I know what I'll have to do. When I go to Faithless Forum, I'm going to have to ask Dan to check his DMs and send me the video link back. Be like, yeah, I tried to tweet you, but I know it probably went to your unknown messages thing. Could you just, like, send the link back to me so I can find this? Yeah, because I just learned that that's a thing on Twitter. Like, if you receive a message from somebody that you're not following, it just pings into this folder that you have to actively view the message and then accept the message. Like, it's if you go like watch. So you're on your messages, and then up here it says message requests, and you click that, and it'll show you that you've received a message from someone that's not on your list. And then you can say you want to let them message you or let them not message you. And it's like this random person messaged me, and I'm just like, all you said was hey. I'm like, and like if you had given me a message, like I probably would have responded, but like the fact that you just said hey, I'm just like not at all into it. Huh. That person was followed by somebody that I know, though. Oh well, whatever. Like I said.
Yeah, I got followed on Twitter the other day by somebody I have no idea who it is, and they weren't being followed by anybody I was following or whatever. So I was like, I don't know. I usually follow people back once they follow me, but just some random stranger like that, I don't know. I'm a little apprehensive, so I didn't. I didn't follow them back yet.
Yeah, I don't follow back immediately. The only people that I've followed back directly is the people that are in Purple's group that have followed me. Like I check that every once in a while, and if somebody who's in that group follows me, I'll follow them back. But just like anybody, like any of the whatever, I don't know how many followers do I have at this point. 219 followers.
Yeah, most of the ones I get are people I met on YouTube, so I usually know them. But if I don't know them and they're followed by a bunch of people I follow, I'll check them out a little bit, and then I might follow them back. But
yeah,
I don't know why anybody would stalk me. So I don't think I have any stalkers.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I just don't understand why I have followers at all. I don't really post much. I've always figured that that's the kind of thing, like people who follow you on things like Twitter, they want to hear what you have to say. They think you have something to say, and I'm just sitting here going, I don't say anything. I just tweet at people and post funny stuff sometimes.
Well, I usually do it just as, like a gesture of kindness, I guess, for the most part.
Oh.
If there's, if a new person in the area, or whatever it is,
Look at this
just
cat experiencing catnip for the first time.
oh dear. He's like, oh my God, this is magnificent.
Mm-hmm. I was waiting to see if his eyes got more dilated, but you can't really tell before he hits the ground.
Yeah. He's like, oh, wow.
That was interesting. What was that smell? Oh, is this what it is? Oh, I like this. It's mine now. Oh, ouch.
Yeah, some cats go really wild on it. They just like to roll around in it, and
Barnes and Noble made today really difficult for me. I had to pick one.
oh dear.
It's like I've determined that if I was living in the South and had met like Wolf the Red and Ocean before becoming an atheist, I might have actually stayed pagan. I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed Norse mythology and stuff. So like I saw that and I'm like, I want it. But then I saw the Origin of Species and I'm like, I've never read that. I want to read that. And I couldn't get both because I had just dropped $30 for a dummies book. You know, like
Such and
painting for
such for
dummies.
dummies, yeah.
Right.
Computers for dummies.
Yeah, I got
Dr. Ruth had sex for dummies.
Oh wow. You gotta be pretty bad if you can't. Well, no, I'm not going to say that because there's other things. But yeah, I got it. It was a Nikon D3200 for dummies. Because look at this. So this was the maximum zoom I had on my camera before, and then this is the zoom that I can get now.
Wow.
And I'm standing in the exact same spot. I just zoomed all the way as far out as I could with a 55 millimeter zoom. And then I zoomed all the way in with 300 millimeters. And I was just like,
I bet those people are happy for you.
No, they'd be in trouble if I could get a 700 millimeter zoom. Then I'd be like,
yeah, looking in their windows.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else that I've funny? This got some likes. See the cat's face? He's got this
not clearly on the little screen. Here it is on the. Wow, he's got almost some eyebrows there. He's got a real scowl to him.
I tagged it the face he makes when I try to get him to follow the GPS. Yeah.
That is cute. He does not look happy right there.
No.
But my roommate's dad has a cat that looks scowly all the time, and I wonder if it's just kind of how her fur goes, because I don't think she's like furrowing her brow really. I think it's just kind of.
That could just be the shape of her face.
This is like the first cat I've seen with like permanent resting bitch face. And
have you never seen Grumpy Cat?
I don't know. Maybe not. Although I am old and the memory's going, but.
Yeah,
So
that
is
was
this like a website where people just post pictures of their?
no.
or-
This is one cat. This is
this is all the same cat. Okay.
yeah. This is tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce.
Yeah, she became known as Grumpy Cat because she's a slightly deformed ragdoll kitten or cat, and so
Huh.
she had this permanent look of being pissed off. And so, like you'll find memes of her on the internet. Let me see Grumpy Cat memes. Let's see. A little bird told me it was your birthday. I ate him. I am now in heaven. I hate it. I had such a nice morning today. Then I woke up. It's all this. Just the cat looks pissed off.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Cute.
It was just the look on her face.
Just how she's built or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How she developed. Poor kitty. I guess it doesn't hurt her, but
No, she was. They did videos on her playing and stuff. Like she's not an unhappy cat. She just constantly looks like she's mad. So I know. I was so sad about that too.
oh,
Yeah, she passed away last year, and I went to work and I was trying to explain it to people, and like none of people at work are internet people, so they were like, "Grumpy cat? What's that? Who's that?" I was just like, I said, "You're such a normie. Leave me alone." Oh, here we go. Here's one.
The term I use is flat scan. I borrowed from the X-Men.
I have a dream that one day you'll shut up. Or how about dashing through the no?
I like that one because I hate Christmas.
So many reasons to be grumpy, so little time. Yeah, it's a cute cat.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
I like a lot of those memes. There's one I read about a guy that he's a DM, and one of his players would tell his daughter stories. And so like the guy would he'd do the DM he'd DM for his friends, and then his friend would go home and tell the kid the story, and it became their ritual. Sorry, it became his ritual for getting the kid to sleep. And then one day they had to skip the game, and so he calls up the DM and says, "Look, I'm in a position. My kid can't sleep, and she needs to hear your stories." And he's like, "What? What the nani?" And so he's like,
What a meme thing to do to your cat.
So here's the story. It says, "Be me, sleep-deprived DM, half an hour ago. Get startled by phone ringing. It's one of my players. Me, dude, it's midnight. You good? Friend, yeah. Sorry if I woke you. Could I ask you a favor? Oh God, he killed someone. .gif. Me, sure, shoot. Friend, my daughter can't sleep. Could you tell her a quick story over speakerphone? She loves listening to my recordings of our sessions before bed, but I left my laptop in the office so I can't play them. Nani the fuck.mp3. She listens to us to fall asleep. Friend, yeah, but she really likes your plot and NPC acting bits. She calls you Dum Dum Mister. Guess Dungeon Master is a bit hard for a preschooler. Me. Wow. Well, if it will help her sleep, then sure. Friend, thank you. Okay, give me a sec to head back to her room. Okay, you're on speaker. Hi, daughter's name. It's Uncle Anon. Daughter, happy gasp. Dum Dum Master. Dum Dum Mister. I have never been happier to be called a dum-dum.jpg. Me, you ready for a story about DM improv skills engaged? The time your daddy and his friends went deep into a cursed temple to save a frost dragon egg? Daughter, incomprehensible happy squealing noises. I then proceed to spend the nearly 20 minutes spitballing a story over the phone for the most fascinated little girl until she eventually falls asleep. Friend thanks me for the help and says he'll see me on game night. Lay down in bed, actually feeling content and comfortable for once. I should have thanked him. I am the dum-dum mister.
That is cute.
Yeah.
The dum-dum mister. A child's perspective.
Or kids say the darndest things.
Yup. I remember I had my own dum-dum mister moment when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't understand the term au gratin potatoes. And one night my mom was asking me what I wanted to eat, and I'm like, I don't know. And I just couldn't decide. And I'm like, what do we got? And she's like, well, we got these au gratin potatoes. And I was like, I don't want to eat all rotten potatoes.
I had trouble pronouncing the word Portuguese when I was a kid. My mother was big into genealogy. And so she was talking to somebody and saying, just listing out all of the threads in the genealogy that she had discovered. And she goes, and he might be part Portuguese. And me, a little kid, saying, my dad's no Portuguese. I've been watching this channel called All Things D&D, where they take player stories of things that have happened to them in D&D stories, like from bad players to epic stories that have played out. And one that I just watched recently was a guy who was playing a warlock, but he had changed patrons and pissed off the previous patron, and so the patron was basically building his foil, kidnapped one of their party members, kidnapped magical items specifically that would defeat the warlock. And this is a Planescapes setting, I believe they said. And so they find out the druid's got a plane shifting spell, but they can't use it because they needed a tuning fork. But they did have a fork, and it was attuned to the character. It was his dinner fork. And so, since it was such a creative plot device, it's not a tuning fork, it's an attuned fork. The DM let them run with it and try and use that to save the character, and they ended up saving him. But it was like, you get to this point in the video where he's explaining that, and he jump cuts in, a what? And it's just so funny to watch. Let me see if I can find it. Oops, wrong button. There we go.
Sad to say, if I was the DM, I probably would not allow it. There's a difference between being tuned and attuned.
Right. So this is the part that just it killed me.
Not really able to read that. Now I am. Surprisingly, I'm holding my own and do almost 70 points of damage, but the ex-dwarf is now a warlock as well. I'm running out of magic. Druid is panicking until he realizes the plane shift spell could save me if only he had a tuning fork.
Right, but it's listen to it while he's explaining the story. You can hear it, right?
No, I can't.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry, that's why I was reading it. I can't hear it.
I might have maybe turned off the sound sharing. Let's see. Oh, wrong one.
The same fork, he had a tuning. I'm running out of magic.
There we are.
The druid is panicking until he realizes the plane shift spell could save me. If only he had a tuning fork. But he did have a fork that was attuned to me. The same fork I eat my meals with. What? So, using that fork.
The what? I died listening to that part. But yeah. This is one channel. That's a channel called Crit Crab. He does a lot of the D&D storytelling stuff. And then another one that I watch is all things D&D. And it's just they're nice because they're just talking. So if you're like working on something, you can play them on the side and you can listen to the stories, and if they catch if what they say catches your what was I saying? I forgot. Yeah.
You're talking about this, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have something in the background if
Website.
you're doing something. Like, you can just play their videos and listen to the stories. And some of them are consecutive stories. Like, there's one that they're doing right now where a father is DMing a game for his daughter. And so you're following along as the daughter tries to figure out how to play D&D. And then the first one, she saves a goblin. But she doesn't know what a goblin is. All she knows is that it's called... I saw you coming up behind you. That didn't work.
By the way, in the morning.
I know what time it is.
For 4 hours.
Nuh-uh, it's only been 2. He's giving me shit. So she... Somebody's going to be sleeping on the couch if they don't shut up.
Well, it's only been actually an hour and 56 minutes, so it's not yet been hours. Plural.
She doesn't know what a goblin is. All she knows is that it's a small creature that's terrified. So she goes through the whole process of helping them. And then the DM, then she finally asks what the goblin looks like. And he explains it, and she turns her nose up and rejects them, despite the fact that she just risked her life saving them. Now she finds out that they're little ugly creatures, and she wants nothing to do with them. And they end up dying.
Aww.
But then somebody comes in and resurrects them. A necromancer comes in and resurrects them.
Oh boy.
And so now she's going through her adventures, and she's being followed by a necromancer who's raised this goblin that she's rejected, who now hates her because of the way she treated it.
Yeah.
And it's just
interesting. Yeah, that's definitely something I could use at work while I'm folding laundry. Because I listen to streams. Usually streams that happened earlier in the day, because like I have a goofy schedule and I get to miss most live stuff because I'm either working or sleeping.
Right, I'm the same way. That's why I like purple stuff, because it's when I can interact with people.
Yeah, and the midday stuff I can always do because I work until 7 a.m. and I don't go to bed until 3 p.m. So that's like my awake time. My after work time is pretty much the morning and through to the afternoon. So
yeah, that's how I do it too. A lot of people are like, why don't you... Oh, I thought I'd lost something. They're like, why don't you do things in the day? And I'm like, because I'm asleep. I'm not the kind of person that can get up 4 or 5 hours before work, do house cleaning, watch things, and then go to work for 8 hours, come home, and go right to bed. Also, I have to help him get out of bed and get to work. Encouragement because it
Yeah.
doesn't want to get out of the warm bed. So I usually end up staying up until 5 in the morning, and then I wake up at 1 in the afternoon, and then I go to work at 3 and I work until midnight, and then I stay up until 5. Problem is like on Wednesdays when Purple does his midday thing, I used to get in that all the time, and then I'd spend 4 hours there, and by the time it's done and I'm like, "Oh, I need to do some housework or something," I'm like, it's 6 or 7 in the afternoon, and it's like, "Well, you can't run the vacuum now, it's too late to disturb the neighbors and whatnot." So that's why I stopped doing the Wednesday ones because,
Mm.
doing the Wednesday ones and then Wednesdays and then the Thursday nights was just I was spending too much time in here yakking and annoying the other guy.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, I'm actually mostly active during the day, during the morning, I guess, because that's the bulk of my free time. But
Mhm.
on my nights off, I got the night. So, but I pretty much have to seek the graveyard shift because I'm light sensitive in my eyes. So,
Yeah.
uh, the time I spend during the daytime is almost always in my room, and I've got a black blanket blocking the one window to my room. So,
Oh god. I've put up blackout curtains um on the 2 windows in my bedroom, right? And
Mm.
the one window works fine and the half of one works fine. But there's just like this one little crack right down
Mm.
the side. It's about finger width. And I've tried putting cardboard in there and taping it down and it just comes unglued and all this, but that one spot falls right across the pillows.
Oh,
And so,
I
like,
hate it when that happens.
if I'm sleeping on my left side, it's fine because 'cause I'm facing away, but I like actually sleeping on my right side. So, I'm facing towards the window, and then the sun comes up and I get pissed off. Like,
Yep.
"Motherfucking sun, go away, I'm trying to sleep."
And mine, the light bleeds through the blanket a little bit, especially when it's really bright. But
Mhm.
it's not bad at all. It's good and gloomy, and that also helps me tell if it's day or night.
Oh, right, like, the light being in the room isn't the problem, it's the unfiltered, light that ends up being super
Yeah,
bright that's the problem.
yeah, it's the glare. Yeah, as long as it's really dark, that's what I need it for sleep. So, and then I cocoon myself in a blanket anyway. So
Mhm. Oh, I can't do that, I can't breathe. I
I
have this
I
thing
have
I have Mhm.
I have a ventilated blanket is what I call it. It's one of those weird like knit sort of things. So there's open spaces all over the place. It's like a I don't know what you call it. I'm not into like freaking the linen lingo, but it looks like it has thick threads and it's woven
Yeah.
or whatever. A woven blanket maybe is what you
Oh, yeah,
call
yeah.
it. So I can breathe right through this thing. I mean, well, unless it's like right on my face, but um, as long as there's like some space in there, I can still breathe it. It still sucks air in and out of right through it. So
Mhm. Let's see. Yeah. I actually have one, it makes my bed really warm, but I don't yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I actually have to have a fan going most of the time, even in the dead of winter where it's, like, 32 degrees out there, it's like, if my fan's not on, it's
yep,
just
me too. Me too. the white noise really, I mean, I almost depend on it to sleep anymore because, like, I think I might have tinnitus because it's the ringing in the ears. Because I've always had this ringing in my ears, and I don't know if you can like be born with tinnitus or develop it at a young age, but like I've always, just as long as I can remember, always had this constant ringing in my ears.
Mm-hmm.
And so when there's like no background noise, it's like it's rather loud, but if there's other background noise, it tends to subdue it. So uh, it's difficult for me to get to sleep with that going on.
Purple says, Doc, don't you
So
have a monster snorkel so you can breathe while hiding under your blankets?
I should get one. Sometimes I'll like prop open a space for air too. I do that sometimes too. But yeah, the whole thing is to keep the light out of my head.
Yeah. And it's just sometimes sleep is just annoying. Like I wish I didn't have to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wish I could just like be like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now and I'm gonna wake up in 8 hours and there's not gonna be any interruptions. Because I'm one of those people that like can sleep. But the problem becomes if I keep getting woken up, I just want to keep sleeping, like catch up, and it's just not a good idea.
Yeah. I have lots of trouble sleeping. Lots of things. Noise really is a big issue, and there is it does get noisy where I live because it's in a trailer. I'm literally 3 yards from like the rail yard, like the railroad HQ. So there's regular doses of scream clam. You know?
Yeah. So do you have do you have an issue with things in your ears? I'm just wondering because one of the
I'm
things
not
that
used to it. But I'm hesitant about using like some kind of earplugs because once again the ringing.
Right.
Like if I put earplugs in, that's going to be like it'll I might as well let somebody practice cymbals all night in my ears. But having the fan on, having that white noise, like it drones out a lot of background noise too, and just the sound just helps lull me to sleep too, and it's the best solution I've come up with yet. So
yeah.
But I also have this awesome comforter that I got from the hotel I work at because there was a stain on there. They couldn't get it out, and they were going to throw it out. So sometimes they let you have linens that they're going to throw out, and it's like thick and warm, and it also blocks sound. So that's pretty awesome. So if it ever gets too cold, this thing will make me sweat. I wish I had this sucker whenever I went camping before. I've had a lot of cold camping nights.
Oof. I haven't camped in ages.
I guess I haven't done it a lot, but most every time I've gone camping, I've froze me arse off.
Yeah, I keep trying to convince my boyfriend. You know, we can't. I can't really go camping because we don't have pets that are um, inducive to camping. You know,
Mm.
we have ferrets. Like you probably
Uh,
can't see it, but that's a big old ferret cage right there. Well, it's a big old
oh,
ferret
groovy.
cage. It's almost as tall as I am for one ferret right now. Her brother passed away in September.
Oh,
Uh,
bummer.
yeah. So like,
Actually, I think I remember you talking about that.
yeah, I've probably mentioned it a couple times. But like, we really can't go. Like, we can go places like to families. Like, we can visit his parents and I can visit mine, and we can take them with him because we've got a travel cage for him in the living room that we just put him in, and then we've got like a playpen thing for him. Um, but like, we can't go anywhere that wouldn't allow us to do that. So like, no camping, no long distance trips together.
Mm,
Anyways, like I can go to Faithless Forum like I'm going to because he'll be home to take care of the ferret. So
cool. Yeah, they can't be left alone for very long, huh?
yeah. Well, it's not that they can't be left alone. It's just that like they need to have their food, and their water changed, and
Yeah.
they're temperature sensitive. Like they can't be
Mm,
in places that are over like 80 degrees because they don't sweat to regulate their heat, their body heat.
right.
So like we just have to manage things. But we might do something because I think we got them in 2013, 14, 15, 16,
Mm,
18, 19, 20. So that makes her 7 years old.
yeah.
Oh, I think I
How long do
actually
they usually live?
not sure anymore. Yeah, see.
Seems kind of old
Yeah.
for a small
See.
mammal.
See if I can get it to focus. Oh wait, I'm docking myself.
Oops.
No, I don't think
Nope.
it's so. I don't think it stood there long enough. But it's
Yeah, it was really blurry for me, so I couldn't read it. But
yeah. I got her on March 14th in 2013. Now I'm gonna have to Google that. But let's see. Lifespan of a fair FE. Oh, there we go. First thing that pops up. 5 to 10 years.
wow.
Yeah, it's longer than I've been told.
Yeah, so she's a ripe old age, huh?
Yeah, she's 7. Did I say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 2013. That would be 7.
And
If
she's
that was
got
the year she was born.
yeah, probably because she wasn't that big when we got her. But yeah, what I want, my boyfriend says no though, because of the way that we have to work right now. We couldn't do anything above a cat. I'm not sure if I want to do a cat unless we were to like specifically get a older cat. Give an old cat a home, maybe,
Yeah.
but not a kitten. But what I've said that I want is a corgi beagle mix or a corgi. It would have to be a small breed, but I don't want one of those ankle biters, like chihuahuas and
Mm,
whatever the heck else people tend to have as lap dogs. Like I want a dog, but
yep.
not a big dog and not a super duper small one.
Yeah, you want a medium-sized dog. just about crotch level. You want a crotch hound. you don't want a really big dog. You don't want to be dealing with flying turds.
But
my
like,
my roommates have 2 dogs and now 3 cats, and we three of us humans and 5 diminutive mammals all live in a trailer.
oof.
The dogs are a Chihuahua and a Rat Terrier, so they're really small dogs.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of breed that I wouldn't really want, like Bichon Frise, pugs, terriers. No, like I might be convinced that a King Charles Spaniel would be an interesting smaller breed, and then
I can't picture that right now. King Charles Spaniel. I don't know breeds the best, but
right
okay,
there.
yeah.
But like these ones here, like the Bichon Frise, the Boston Terrier, the pug, anything with long hair, like maybe. But yeah, like all of these is like just like that is not a small dog. What the frick? A Shiba Inu is not a small dog.
Yeah. Yeah, they're your average sized dogs pretty much.
That's just kind of weird because I googled small dog breeds. Like maybe a Sheltie, but I don't know. But that's only because they look kind of like um collies. But I don't know.
Yeah. Shelties are neat. Yeah. My roommates before the Rat Terrier had a little Shih Tzu that they named Tuxedo. I used to call him Mr. Tuxedopolis. I'm just weird that way. I just added polis on the name Tuxedo and play with the pronunciation, and I thought it was cute as hell. I'd be like, "Hello, Mr. Tuxedopolis."
Oh, we've got a cat at home that's name is Mrs. Beardsley. Because let me see if I've got her picture. I know I have her picture somewhere. When she was born, we thought she was a boy, and she had a beard. She had like like the pointy beard under her chin. I'm trying to. Where is it?
Perp, I would recommend the red wine with McDonald's cheeseburgers. That's just a guess, though.
Like I shared her picture before. She's got a big old behind a Christmas tree.
Yeah, Mr. Tuxedopolis, unfortunately, we had to put him to sleep because he had this old back injury that he had the surgery for, but eventually it was going to, whatever, wear out or whatever, like his condition was going to return. And the little guy couldn't move without being in excruciating pain, so it was sad. So we had to put him to sleep.
So there's a
I miss
picture.
him.
There's a picture of Mrs. Beardsley.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember you showing that
She's
before.
got that little black chin patch that looked like a beard, and we thought she was a boy, so we called her Beardsley. And then once we found out it was a female, we're like, okay, well, she's Mrs. Beardsley.
Oh, hey, Jen's here.
Hey, Jen.
My sister, way back when I was a little kid, my oldest sister used to have. I don't know what kind of cat it was. It could have been this breed or maybe a calico. I can't. It had just random spots all over, and it had this one spot big brown spot right on the top of its nose. So they named it Dipshit because it looked like he dipped his shit in his nose and shit.
That's my ferret, the one that passed away. That's Malcolm.
Oh, cutie. There was a time I considered getting a ferret. I had this small apartment in a duplex, and it was just a small place. It would be good for a cat, and then I thought, well, it'd be neat to go even smaller with the pet, so they'd have more room. and I
Mhm.
started thinking about getting a ferret, but I never did. I
They
don't know if you ever
are
let them. I don't know if you ever let them run around, or if you want to keep them in their cage or what. But
they run around the computer room when we let them out because they are very what's the word? Very squirmy, so they can
mm,
easily get into places where they shouldn't be.
yeah, that would have been my biggest concern.
And so we were always worried that if we let them out into the rest of the house that they would, get under the washer and dryer or behind there or under the fridge or into the corner
Hmm.
cabinet space that might lead into the walls. So we determined that in fact, like in this picture, this right here, down at the very bottom of the picture, is the gate that we've got set up so that they couldn't leave the room. The fact that they're
Mm.
both sitting there looking up is because they were chasing me out of the room because they wanted to go with, basically.
Mm. Oh, they're so cute.
Let's see. Let me see. I had found. Oh, this is Mrs. Beardsley's mama. No, not her. That's her legs. She was and the inspiration for my avatar too, like the fur pattern
Oh, cool.
on my cat avatar.
Yep.
Let's see. What else have I got? Animal pictures. Oh, here we go. That's her and her kittens.
Mm.
Oh, these pictures are not good. These were back before I had a decent camera.
Kitty cats.
I'm trying to find pictures of my. Oh, this one. I am not amused. Let's see. Climbing a tree and sticking your tongue out at me. That's Ziva. So she had 4 kittens, and we named them all kind of connected to each other. Oh, she had 5.
Mm.
So this one here, the orange one on the right, we thought that one of his eyes wasn't going to open,
Mm.
and so we named him Jack for
Mm.
One-Eyed Jack, right? So then this orange and white one here, my mom said, well, if we've got a Jack, we need a Gibbs, because in Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Jack's first mate was named Gibbs, right?
Mm.
So we had Gibbs, and then we had already named Beardsley because of the beard, and we had already named this one because he was fat. We called him Pudge. So then the last kitten we were trying to come up with a name for, we knew it was a girl, so we named her Ziva
Mm.
from NCIS.
Okay.
So we had Captain Jack, first mate Gibbs, head investigator Gibbs, and his sidekick Ziva.
Groovy.
And that's Ziva with the weird look on her face.
Mm.
Get in. Wait, how many of these things did I open? There we go. Do
I
ferret
love kitty
paws
cats.
tear up stuff? Yes. If you could see my carpet, underneath their cage over here, there's a hole where they've dug. All along the door jamb, like in that picture I showed with them where there was all those sheets on the ground, those were to keep them from being able to dig up the carpet because ferrets are burrowing animals.
Yep.
And so,
I was wondering about the potty training situation on ferrets.
they can be potty trained.
Hmm.
The orange one, not the orange one, the male one, he was a pain in the butt. Or he felt that the desk, the carpet area underneath my desk was his litter box.
Mm.
So if I was ever on a stream or in a video game and I said, "Oh shit," I was probably being literal. Because that meant I had stretched my foot out and put it in ferret poop.
Oh.
Oh, this was my dog.
So, do ferrets have
Ferrets have what?
like poops like you'd expect, or do they have just unusually large poops?
No, they have
Like
normal.
like you wouldn't expect all that to come out of the little thing.
Oh no, they're normals. They're normal for their size. I'm gonna pick this one. You mean? They were cuddled up together.
Oh.
Let me see.
Yeah, ferrets are so cool.
They're a lot of work though, because they need attention, and a lot of the times when ferrets get older, they develop a couple of different diseases because their breeding is not too great. So like the male had insulinoma, which is basically pancreatic cancer.
Oh.
And we had to keep him on medication for a very long time. And they also developed this thing called adrenal disease, which is I'm not even 100% sure what it is anymore. I keep forgetting.
Their adrenal glands don't produce enough adrenaline, presumably.
Yeah. One of the main things that most common cause is hyperplasia, excessive growth of the adrenal gland. And they end up going bald. So, like, actually, hold on a second. Maybe.
Which that's not so bad. I mean.
Well, yeah.
As long as they can be kept warm, you know.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Because I hear her up and eating, so I'm gonna go grab her for a second. I'm actually showing her screen.
I shall return shortly. Have to use the restroom.
I'll give her back to you. Go away. Just scratch her head. No. So, she's not gonna want to look that way. He's distracting her.
No, I'm not. She's looking away from my hand.
Okay. So, can you see?
I'm quick using the restroom, so I'm going to mute.
Oh, okay. Oh, hi. No, he's going to the bathroom. Yeah, I know. She's going to get all squirmy. Yeah, ferret. But see, I don't know if you can see it. Do. But the back of her head is all bald. Yes, hello. Hello. Ferret. No. She's like, I want out. Look at that. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Get the camera. Oh.
There we are.
Get the camera.
I feel better.
Get the camera.
Yep.
You see the back of her head?
She's a cutie.
And she's
a little bit.
She's bald. And now she's going to get all squirmy and try and walk around my computer. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. But yeah.
Little cutie.
Yeah. Let's see. Got to give rest another go for my feet's sake. Good night. Good night, YouTube. TV2 brother. Yeah. It's actually getting on 3:30 in the morning. We've been at this for 2.5 hours.
Yep.
So maybe should wrap it up. We'll wrap it up.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I'm tired. I need to go to work. I got to work tomorrow, so I go to sleep. And I think I stop bothering my boyfriend with yapping behind him.
Yep. Help me, I just have the rest of the night and the day. Yay.
Oh, that's the wrong button. If I push that, I'll delete the picture.
I
Yeah.
I could probably go find something to eat. It might not be a bad idea.
Yeah. I get to have I go back to work tomorrow, but then I get Saturday off. I really should have just said, "Hey, can I have Friday and Saturday off?" and just had a 4-day weekend, but I just requested the day that I wanted off instead of the whole thing. But yeah. There's
Yep.
problem with wine is I have to drink 3 times as much to get the same buzz as whiskey. Ugh. I drank a whole bottle of pink Moscato during Neil's after party.
Mm.
It was kind of fun. Didn't last as long as normally, but whatever. It was fine.
Yep.
Yeah, you probably should try and get some sleep, Purple.
Especially you gotta do a lot of driving. You don't want to be tired.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, indeed.
Mm.
Well, it was fun hanging out with you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's
I would've
definitely
been
more.
here.
It's definitely more fun than working. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and we should get Purple back. Next Wednesday. Oh.
Yeah.
So are you doing your face reveal on the 4th or on your midday or midnight, Purple? Oh, let me see. The pop-up chat is probably quicker to respond. I don't actually like that saying.
I was always kind of bothered by it too, I have to admit. It's like, no, just let me try, man.
Because do and do not are choices in my mind. It's like, okay, I can do it or I cannot do it. But there's no guarantee that if I try that I will.
Yeah.
It's just a weird saying that I don't really like. I don't really like it. You need to think about that. Think about that and do a video. Be like, why I do not like do or do not.
Yeah, but failing is how we learn to succeed.
Right. I mean, how will you know? How will you know if you can do something unless you try to do it? Especially if it's something you've never done before. I mean, because literally wasn't that line said in response to Luke attempting to raise his X-wing from the swamp on Dagobah?
Pretty much, yeah.
So how would he doesn't know that he can do it. He has to try in order to do it.
Although he was levitating rocks before that.
Okay,
that's why he's like levitating rocks is one thing, but come on. Size matters not. Judge me by my size, do you?
Oh, wait, come here. Hey, baby, I'm talking to you. Do your precious thing. Come here and do precious. Your precious voice? Your Gollum voice. Come.
Precious.
Oh, you're actually pretty good at it too. Come here. Come on over here and do it, because he just did it and I want them to hear you do it. He says he can't do it on command.
spontaneous thing.
He doesn't perform well under pressure, apparently.
Then we hate you. We hate you forever.
Come on, try it. Try and do it.
All right, now.
Oh, he's being shy now.
I have a lot of voices I can do, or at least I think I can do.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that is different because I didn't remember the part about him lifting the rocks.
Yeah.
So, like, if he was telling him to, you know, to move the rocks and or to move the ship and he had never moved anything in that similar way. If he'd never done something like that, then I could understand. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but still, it's a lot of pressure. He's like, succeed or fail, you know. Pretty much. Yeah, it's too much pressure, man. Telekinesis is hard to do. Trust me.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it off here and go to sleep.
Yep.
Purple, you should try and sleep or get some rest or something. That or invest in some coffee pills or something so you can stay awake.
Yeah, I recommend sleep over the deprivation thereof.
Well, yes, that would be preferred. That's one of those things that gets me. Is like, it's like, oh, I need to go to sleep because I have to do this important thing tomorrow, and then I can't sleep.
Hmm.
I've had
The
that a
more
couple.
excited about tomorrow I am, the less I can sleep.
Mm-hmm. Oops. You know, my issues like the other day. You're familiar? Are you familiar with Stuttering Chris?
Not much, I guess. I think I've heard of them.
I follow him, and he commented on this thing from a YouTube channel called Dash Cam Twats, which is basically dash cam videos
Mm.
of accidents and really wicked stuff. Um, and I was going to bed at 5, and I started to watch it. The next thing I knew, it was 6:30 in the morning,
Mm.
and I had to be up at 1 to get ready for work and all that. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep. No big deal. Turn the phone off. Set the phone aside. And then I fell asleep and I saw 8 o'clock, and then I woke up and I saw 9 o'clock, and then I woke up and then I saw 10 o'clock. It was like I saw almost every hour between
Oh,
7 and 1. I never really got good sleep, so it was so annoying.
that happens to me sometimes. And the thing that happens regularly is I'll get up. It can be an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours before I want to, and just can't get back to sleep
Yep, I'll do that.
until
I'll end up doing that
until
too.
just until like 15 minutes before I need to wake up. I'll start getting to really good sleep, and then the alarm goes off, and I'm like, and then I'm all groggy and tired because I was just getting into sleep. It sucks. And I can only sleep about 5 hours anyway.
Hmm.
Oh well.
No, what gets me is when my I wake up 10 minutes before my alarm goes off.
Yeah, I do the same. It's just usually an hour or hour and a half.
Hmm. Oh. Yeah, okay. I said we're gonna end this, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit
Yep.
the button. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for
Yep.
coming and
Thank you
stopping
all.
by. Normal sleep pattern is sleep 2 hours a week. Wide awake for another hour or two, and then sleep for 2 hours again. Repeat 8 to 10 hours. Yeah, that's pretty standard for me too. But you need to get some rest. So have a good night, everybody. I'm gonna hit the button
Yep.
now. Oh, I almost hit the
Okie
wrong button.
dokie.
I almost hit leave studio instead of end broadcast. Bye bye.
Toodles.